if I hadn't have been through what I had been through and had to build up this like immense strength and almost character, I think if this was me before I had gone through the trauma that I'd been through, I would be eaten alive. A lot of the things that we go through in life is for a reason, it's for a purpose.
Mental health is real, and a lot of mental health comes from trauma. The past 5 years of my life is when all of this self-development, this mindset was the shift. Like, it weren't like this before. Before, it was dark, it was traumatic, it was unhappiness. I felt unworthy. I felt like I was like talking to myself in my own head. Like, I felt like I was going mad.
Be careful what you wish for, because you don't know what you're going to have to go through
Right.
in order to get there.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Rise Collective podcast. In the last episode, we spoke about our traumas, and in this episode, we're going to be speaking about our healing journeys and how we are where we are today, and how this can help you at home if you are going through anything similar to what we have, or anything in general. The focus of this episode is so that you know, regardless of what you've been through, you can achieve anything you want to. There is literally nothing holding you back, and there's nothing stopping you, because you are worth everything. How do you feel after the episode?
You know what? I do feel lighter after talking about it, because I think, like, we've spoken about it, but I think I've always been, number one, scared of, I guess, judgment of like what people are going to think. Like, how can this girl who's been through all of this like achieve the things that she wants to? But also the protection of the person who caused the trauma, I think. And someone actually messaged me after seeing the episode and said it's crazy because I'm still, as much as I'm talking about it, I'm still protecting them. Which actually made me realise, like, wow, I actually am. But I feel light overall. I just feel a lot lighter.
I definitely feel like us doing this, no matter how many views, no matter who sees it, no matter who watches, this is like our story, and it's really important that people know that we're not perfect. We've been through things. Like, we're not someone to like look up to and be like, she's amazing, she's been through nothing. Like, we've struggled, and most people that are successful have had struggles, whether it be failing businesses, failed marriages and they're divorced, trauma, someone dying in their family, and it's just about healing overall. Like, how do you heal from that, and how are you going to process? Because a lot of people don't process their emotions and their feelings, and that just essentially holds them back from reaching their success. Now, I personally feel like ever since you have let go of your anchor, that's what you say, you have flourished a lot. Obviously, I did touch on this a little bit in the previous episode, but I want to go into that a little bit. I feel like let's talk about the things you've done now that you didn't do before. Maybe it'd be like a mindset shift, or maybe it just be like just doing what you said you was going to do. What has changed for Madison? Because we need to know, anyone that's going through the same thing, how do you come from such a dark trauma and turn into such a positive light in this space?
I think the main thing that you have to do is the acknowledgement of what you've been through. I think for a lot of us who have been through trauma, like you said in the previous episode, we're taught to smile through it. We're taught to, like, this is normal. I think anyone who's been through any type of abuse, it becomes so normal that it's almost like your nervous system is like, it expects trauma from everywhere. So I think the main thing for me that I had to do was acknowledge that what I had been through was traumatic, was abuse. And in the previous episode, I wouldn't even say, I didn't even want to say abuse. Now I'm comfortable to say it was abuse. I went through abuse. It's the acknowledgement, and then it's also the rebuilding of yourself and the understanding that you have to rebuild yourself. You have to rebuild your subconscious, which doesn't happen overnight. It's taken me almost 18 months to get here today just to be comfortable to say the word abuse. Like, and that is like, I think, still the first step in my journey, because it's taken me this long to just accept. So I think acknowledge it, work on yourself, put yourself around people who want to see you win, want to see you grow, who speak positively into you. Because again, anyone who's been through abuse, you're so used to being spoken down to. It's important to now put yourself around people who speak life into you. So I think that's the main things that I would say I have taken from the last 18 months of my personal growth more than anything. What about you? I feel like for you, that was something that was so huge and something that you have had to like build yourself up to talk about and accept. How do you feel now you've spoken about it?
When I first spoke about it, like to the first person I ever told, it was like a weight lifted off my shoulders. And I feel like I didn't feel that weight again until the episode came out. And the reason I say that is because it doesn't matter who watches it. Like, now it's like a part of me that I'm open to share. Like, my friends and close ones know what I've been through, but I feel like now it's more, I've truly accepted what it is. And some people might say, why would you share such a like dark thing, and like you should keep that private? But I kept it private for so long and it ate me alive. And I feel like people go through things, yes, everyone deals with things differently. But I feel like I went through that to be a voice in this world. And especially what we're doing, we're obviously influencers, as much as we want to say it or not. We are. People will look up to us, mostly for trading. But I'm really big on self-development and mindset, and I feel like that's like my focus. And I didn't get here overnight. Like, the past 5 years of my life is when all of this self-development, this mindset was the shift. Like, it weren't like this before. Before, it was dark, it was traumatic, it was unhappiness. I felt unworthy. I felt like I was like talking to myself in my own head. Like, I felt like I was going mad. So I feel like now I've spoke about it, I feel like a sense of relief, because now when I speak about like trauma and like letting go of things and accepting things you've been through, people understand why I've said that. Like, I'm not just someone that I've done a life coaching course. I've learned how to speak to people and I'm just sitting there helping people. Like, no, I've been through things. I'm not perfect, and I've learned how to heal and to grow, which ultimately is a testimony in itself. Like, I am my own testimony. So I think me going through it now just allows people to know that if I can come from something so dark and be more positive, wake up every day, live my life, like, I am here. Like, I didn't want to be here 6, 7 years ago because of the battle I was going through in my own mind, and especially when I was going through it at the time. But now I want to be here. Like, I want to help people. I want to help people grow. I want to see people survive, because mental health is real. And a lot of mental health comes from trauma. It could be something like a divorce. It could be losing a family member. It could be something like what we've been through, abuse. It doesn't matter what lane of abuse. But ultimately, accepting, like you said, you have to accept what you've gone through and surrender, because there's nothing you can do. You've been through it. So accepting, surrendering, and letting go. As much as it's always going to be with you, you have to let go of the pain that it's causing you, because if you don't let go of the pain it's causing you, you're not opening doors for new life to flow into you. So, yeah.
Have you done any therapy?
You know what? I went when I was younger. Well, my mum used to take me to counsellors all the time when I was going through this stuff. But for her, it was more like, I want to know why my child is like misbehaving and she's just like not like her sister, basically. I went to so many. I think I went to about 7 or 8 when I was younger, yeah. But I never spoke to them about what I was going through because I didn't tell anyone. And I've never done any like private counselling or therapy or anything. I don't think you need to. Like, it would be good to talk to someone, but I genuinely feel like a lot of therapists, they do just sit there and just, they listen and they're like, okay, yeah. And they like kind of like feed what you're doing. They're like, yeah, it's okay to feel how you feel. Like, they kind of like just, they don't help you. They don't give you resources. They don't give you materials to learn from. And that's why when I done my life coaching course and I've like watched all the podcasts I've watched and I've done the research I've done and read the books I have and all of the inner healing I've done, I now do my one-to-one sessions because I am not just going to be like a regular counsellor that's just going to sit and listen to you and take everything you're saying. I want to help you. Like, I want to help see you grow. I want to see you let go of everything. I want to give you material and resources to be aware of the way you feel, not just it's okay to feel the way you feel, because I don't want to say that therapy isn't good, because for some people that don't know how to do the inner work, it's good, right? But I do feel like a lot of therapists, they will just keep you on a rope that will stay there for a long time because obviously they want money. I don't think I could do therapy because I understand the concepts of the way people think, and I do think a lot of people have like hidden agendas.
Makes sense. I've never done any type of therapy, but I think it has been something that I've thought about. But in saying that, I feel like now we're speaking about it, and now we're kind of like advocating for the people that have been through what we've been through. I think this is somewhat my form of therapy, if that makes sense. I think me helping other people through things that I have been through helps me in healing, because I can see the things that they might need, and I think that in a weird way helps me see what I need, rather than having to like go and sit and talk to a random person who doesn't know my life and I have to lay out everything and talk about everything that I've been through. I think just talking to people who understand me, have been through what I've been through, that is therapy in itself.
I think if you're okay, like if you're open to do the inner work, doing the inner work would be the best thing because you are now self-aware. And if you can control the way you think, feel, and act, and you don't need someone to help you do that, ultimately you can change your life, and it will just show you how strong you are as a person and that you can genuinely achieve anything you put your mind to. So I think just figuring out how to do that, and if you are like, how do I do that? You're speaking about how do you do that? I would just say, learn about the conscious and the subconscious mind. Learn about your habits that you've formed, because habits are such things of me going through my trauma is me like having these memories. Like, how am I going to shift these memories? If I fall into a dark hole, am I going to sit there and like watch TV and like just feel bad about myself, feel depressed? Or am I going to get up? Am I going to go for a walk? Am I going to go to the gym? I would say write 2 lists. List 1 being, what do you do that makes you happy? And what do you do that makes you not happy or makes you feel stuck and sluggish? On your happy list, it could be going to the gym because it releases negative endorphins, or the negative list could be eating takeaways makes me feel sluggish and it makes me feel really bad the next day. So now when you feel bad and you feel like you're on the bad list, you look at your good list and you do all the things to make yourself feel good. If you can do that and you can start to just rewire your mind to be more positive, you can achieve anything. And I feel like that's how we are where we are today, because we've accepted it. But not only have we accepted it, we've done the inner work. And that is why we are now where we are, with our mindsets, with our children, with our home life, with trading, with business. Like, we're doing this. Like, obviously at the moment we're a small business. Our aim is to have obviously 100 community members at a cap, because we want to really focus on building those connections with the 100 people. You can find the link down below if you want to be a part of the community as well. But I just think it's really important to find yourself a solid community or a solid friendship that you can really confide in, because if you can't do the inner work, you're right, I feel like therapy is just talking to someone that's been through the same as you.
One thing that I've realised over, I would say, even just in my like the last 2 years of me interviewing people, interviewing traders, one of the biggest things that I've realised is, between whether it's a trader, anyone who has any type of success, we've all been through some type of trauma. Like, I just think it is so common of people who are so resilient and so strong that we all have been through trauma. Do you think, in a really strange kind of way, trauma comes into our life to give us a purpose and give us maybe the strength, the resilience, the grit that we need in order to pursue what it is that we're going after, our dreams, our goals.
Oh, 100%. Because I feel like if I didn't go through what I went through, like I could still have a good job, or I could still have some sort of aspiration. But coming from a dark place, you have to do the inner work. And doing the inner work is ultimately going to make you more successful than the average person. And I say that because we don't just watch a podcast to enjoy what the people are saying. We watch a podcast to learn, to grow, to gather information. Like, we don't just read a book to enjoy the book. Like, we're not just reading like fiction, non-fiction. We're reading books that are helping us develop ourselves. And I think when you look up to people that are like the most wealthy and the most successful, they've all done stuff like read books, watched podcasts, done self-development. They've gone through failing moments in their business, and it's about having that strong mind. And I feel like me going through what I went through, it's gave me the purpose of knowing why I'm here, and that is to help people heal, to help people grow, because I'm a testimony and I've done it myself. And I think it really also robs off in my trading. Yes, I'm very impulsive and I can like do silly things like revenge trading, but I think without the strength I have, I wouldn't be able to just step off the markets like I have for the past 3 weeks. I'd be like, I constantly need that quick fix. I need that money. I want to gamble. And then I'd probably lose all my money and say trading's a scam. But because I've been through what I've been through, I'm okay to take a step off and maybe not see certain things that I'm used to, like the holidays and all of this stuff that trading can bring you. But me having that strong mindset and being able to like work on other areas of my life, I think it ultimately helps you, because this gave us time to do content, work on the business, sort our community out, sort the event out, like little things that I think the average person, this would be too much for them.
I absolutely agree. I agree. And I think I said it in the last episode. If I hadn't have been through what I had been through and had to build up this like immense strength and almost character, I think if this was me before I had gone through the trauma that I'd been through, I would be eaten alive by trading in business. The people that we have to come across, and especially on Twitter, the people that have come for me on Twitter, if this was the old me, I would crumble. Like, you wouldn't see me on Twitter anymore. But because I've been through what I've been through, and something that I didn't want to say in the last episode, which I don't care about saying it now, because I have had to take being shouted at, being hit by a 6'20" man, I am like, what else in life can actually, what else can hurt me? Like, nothing else can ever come close to that. And I think I'm not happy that I've been through it, but I'm grateful that I had to go through it, because I genuinely wouldn't be the person that I am today. I wouldn't be the person who's so outspoken and just says what she thinks. I wouldn't have the strength to do that. I wouldn't have the strength to keep going for the last 10 years of trading. And when I think about it, I actually started trading while I was like in the beginning stages of going through what I was going through. Trading never really worked until I was out of it. Like, I made the most money as soon as I got out of it. So I do think that a lot of the things that we go through in life is for a reason, it's for a purpose. Because I have such big dreams and such big goals, the universe was like, right, okay, that's what you want, then you're gonna have to go through this first, because you need to become this person. So I think, yeah, everything that we go through, like, it's a reason, and it really is true what they say, like, be careful what you wish for, because you don't know what you're gonna have to go through
Right.
in order to get there.
And I think as well, it just goes to show like how your environment is everything. If you have negative influences around you, it will hold you back. And I feel like that's something I've also gone through a lot in my life, like attracting negative friends, attracting negative relationships. And I think it's because I was going through such a negative, toxic thing. And in my mind, I was a negative person. Yes, I might not have like been out here doing crazy stuff, but I viewed myself in a bad way. Like, I always thought, like, I used to gel my edges because I wanted my forehead to be smaller. Because I was just so conscious of the way I looked. Like, just little things. Like, obviously, yeah, if you have the money and you want to change a little thing about yourself, do it. Why not? because it's your life at the end of the day. But I was so aware that my thoughts was negative. Like, I was never happy with myself. I never thought I was good enough. I used to go on social media, compare myself to everyone. And now I understand that this is my life and I'm the main character in my life. And it doesn't matter about anyone else but me. Because no one's paying my bills. I do all of that by myself. I'm a single parent doing everything myself for my child as well. Everything I've got, I've done on my own. My mindset, no one's held my hand and said, do this, do that. It's all the work I've done from within. And ultimately, I think the most successful people will go through something very negative. And true success is, are you failing or are you going to keep going? It doesn't matter how many times you fail. Are you giving up?
Any trader, entrepreneur that I've ever met, we have failed more times than most people have tried. Like, even with Rise Collective, this is our second rebrand and our final. But we had to go through the learning process
Yep.
of what it is to run a business, because neither of us had really ran an actual business before. So we had to learn like what it is to like have shareholders and have sponsors and all of these different hurdles that we've had to overcome to get where we are today. And when we even think about it, we spoke about this almost 2 years ago. We had this plan of what we were going to do, but little did we know we'd have to go through 2 years of ups and downs and hell. And
That's crazy. Like, when you actually say that, like, we actually sat there and we was like, it would be so cool if we did a podcast, like we done events, like we done like women's awareness, like we spoke about everything. We didn't do that for what, 2 years? We had to go through everything you've just said to get to where we are today. And that's just like been like that light bulb moment for me. It's not just in our life, anything, like anything you go through, if you really want it, and I say desire because want is lack, but anything you truly desire, if you're going to get it, you're going to get it. And if you don't get it the first time, are you going to give up and say, I'm not worthy, I'm not ready, I don't deserve it? Or are you going to keep going until you get it? And I think that is one of the most important messages of this whole episode. You are worth everything. Even if you don't reach the success straight away, you have to keep going.
100%, 100%. And I think it's so funny. It's funny even how far we have come since recording the last episode.
Right?
Because we were on the phone crying. That I don't know if it was the day before or that morning. We were on the phone crying. Like, how funny is it? Okay, I always say it's funny. It wasn't funny, but it's funny now because the growth that we've had in the last couple of weeks alone is actually crazy. Like, guys, when I say we were on the phone crying to each other, we were like, we've been through all this trauma. We didn't know whether we wanted to talk about it. We knew we had to talk about it in order to grow, in order to help people, in order for people to understand us and our story. And now,
As crazy as it is, I feel lighter. I feel like there's a light at the end of this tunnel now. Like, it's not just, there's an agenda. Like, we are doing what we're doing, but we're hiding half of us. Like, people know us now. Obviously, there's so much people don't know. And we'll unfold, like, through the episodes. And obviously, that's why we're doing the podcast. And eventually, we're obviously going to have guests and stuff. But I think trading, self-development, mindset, psychology, business, entrepreneurship, we are amazing examples of this because a lot of people don't start from when it starts taking off. They start when it's taken off. And we are starting now. And like everyone that's subscribed, everyone that's in our community, they're going to see the growth. And that's why I'm really excited for the community to grow, because I feel like we're going to form some amazing friendships as well. And just people that are truly growing. And we're going to be a part of their journey and they're going to be a part of ours. And everyone you meet, you have a purpose for it. Truly. Like, whether you learn, whether you grow. I always say it's a lesson or a blessing. So anyone you come across, understand that if someone's put you through bad stuff, it could be cheating, it could be abuse, you're not a victim of your life. The last episode I did say that I was a sexual abuse victim. I'm not a victim, but that's what it would be classed as. But I am not a victim of my life. Like, I'm in full control of my life. No one has a hold of me, and that is the same as you guys. I just think you need to make sure you're strong and you do the inner work, because your mind will control everything.
I absolutely agree. Before we end out, do you want to give the viewers 3 actionable steps that they can take in order to begin their healing process?
But like I said in the episode, I would do 2 lists. The negative list and the positive list. What makes you feel negative and what makes you feel positive? When you feel negative, look at your positive list and do something that's going to make you positive. Secondly, start with affirmations. If you feel unhappy because you've been through a bad relationship and you now feel like you're lonely and that you're lacking love, start to be your own love. Tell yourself you are loved. Tell yourself you're worthy of love and happiness. Get yourself post-it notes, put them all around your house, and just put, I am love, I am beautiful, I am attractive, I am desirable. So every time you open the fridge, you see an affirmation and your mind is now rewiring itself. And thirdly, oh, there's so much. Okay.
Top 3.
Okay, top 3. Okay. All right. Okay. No, I'm going to say number 3, move your body. Move your body. Go to the gym, go for a walk, be out in nature, do yoga, do stretching, do something. Like, get your body moving, because when you're negative and you just sit there, all of this negative emotion is stuck and your body needs to release. What about you? I think you should say top 3 too.
I like those. I think mine are going to be... My morning routine is my healing for me. So I'm going to say meditation, 1. That is something that I struggle to be consistent with, but I know that that really helps. So meditation is definitely 1. Journaling is definitely up there. Journaling how you feel. And I don't think with journaling, it's not the importance of writing it down. I guess writing it down in the moment is helpful for the release, but then it's also for you to go back and read and actually see how far you've come. I think that's a big one for me. And then thirdly, I think it's just going to have to be reading. I think although I've always been a reader, so when I got into network marketing, in fact, no, it was actually 𝐷𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐬 who actually introduced me to personal development. He was the one who gave me the secret, funnily enough. Big up him for...
The devil said, I'ma help you. Get away from me.
Big up the abuser for getting that journey started for me. Whatever. I guess he had a purpose. Aside from my babies, he had a purpose. But yeah, reading. Like, books like, as cliche as they are, The Secret, Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil,
Ooh.
Big one.
Atomic Habits.
Do you know what I mean?
The Power of the Subconscious Mind.
That is one of the best books.
Ask and It's Given. Have you read that?
Yes, I've got that one as well.
That's a great book.
Reading is so important, I think. It gives you a whole new perspective. You learn something. You learn about yourself. You learn about your mind. So yeah, they would be my top 3.
Yeah, they would also be in my bunch. There's so much more.
We're
going to have to do like a whole self-development dedicated podcast.
Literally.
With actionable steps, step-by-step guide. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I think it's been another weight lifted off our shoulders, but also a very helpful one to you guys watching at home. I will leave the links down below for mine and Mads' personal social medias and all of our links. I will also leave the link down below for our WOP community, where you could be one of our 100 members. You can watch all of our webinar replays. You can watch myself doing self-development calls every single Monday, Mads doing technical trading analysis every single Tuesday, and so much more. Thank you for watching this episode. Peace.